everybody. I'm Dr. Shruti. I'm a consultant dermatologist at Cutis, and today I'm here to talk about acne and PCOS. So what is acne? Acne is a fairly common disease which involves the oily glands of the face, which most commonly presents as what is known as papules, pustules and nodules. And what is PCOS for that matter? PCOS, as we can abbreviate, is polycystic ovarian syndrome. So it's an endocrine disorder which most commonly manifests with excessive androgen production as well as metabolic abnormalities. So what is PCOS acne? Is every acne a PCOS acne? And how common is PCOS? PCOS is most commonly seen in 1 in 10 women in India as well as globally. So what is this PCOS acne? PCOS acne is a red acne, it's a vengeant acne or a stubborn acne which most commonly occurs on a background of an oily skin and most commonly presents from teenage and can persist up to adulthood. So this acne most commonly presents around the chin, jawline, and it's more aggressive in nature and does not bend to the normal acne treatment modalities. So how does PCOS cause acne? PCOS, as the syndrome says, it's an ovarian dysfunction syndrome which most commonly manifests with excessive androgen production, which will also manifest with other hormone elevations like luteinizing hormone, follicle stimulating hormone, and most importantly, an insulin resistance which causes the duct to get abnormally conified as well as present with an aggressive acne or a vengeant acne. Why should somebody worry when they have this PCOS kind of an acne? Most commonly, acne is the most commonly associated with what is known as PCOS. In most of the cases, it's associated in nearly 30% of the cases. And also this kind of an acne is very aggressive in nature, and it's also the first indicator of an underlying hormonal abnormality. Identifying it rightly and treating it at the earliest can prevent the utmost complications such as scarring. Patients with acne have to be investigated for an underlying PCOS. Does every patient need to be investigated for PCOS with an underlying acne? The answer is no. Individuals who have a teenage acne of very high grade with more number of inflammatory lesions, individuals who have acne with excessive hair growth on the face, individuals with acne mostly presenting on the chin, neck, jawline and the upper back, individuals with acne who have the acne onset mostly after 25 years and the acne that goes on to persist up to adulthood, and individuals with acne with menstrual cycles being irregular. All these kind of individuals need to be investigated for an underlying hormonal abnormality. So hormonal abnormality and an underlying disorder of menstrual cycle. So what is an irregular menstrual cycle? Any menstrual cycle which has less than 8 cycles per year, or a cycle which frequently comes less than 21 days or more than 35 days with less than 5 or 10 days delay in the cycle, all these kind of individuals with acne need to be investigated for an underlying PCOS. So if so, what should you do? You'll have to meet the dermatologist for an underlying acne issue. The dermatologist will investigate you with a hormonal assay and will also advise an ultrasound abdomen and pelvis. So finally, if one has been diagnosed confirmedly after all this as to have an acne with PCOS, what should be done next? General measures are very important. Stress is a part of today's life. So how you calm your stress and deal with today's lifestyle is of utmost importance to manage PCOS. Also, general lifestyle measures such as weight reduction is also very important. So how can you reduce your weight? Weight can be reduced by an exercise almost amounting to 150 minutes a week, and also cutting down on the food which have high glycemic index, including canned food, processed foods, and also junk food, which is almost a part of everybody's diet, can go way long in reducing the PCOS. So most commonly, you should have foods which are low glycemic index, and including fruits and vegetables also low in glycemic index should be chosen. Food rich in omega-3 fatty acids, flax seeds, dark colored fruits including berries, vegetables such as kale, spinach, green leafy vegetables can go a long way in reducing PCOS. And also, if so, the next question would be what kind of a non-vegetarian food I should have in reducing PCOS. The non-vegetarian food most commonly includes a high protein food like salmon, and also a protein rich food which is low in fat, including lean meat, and also reducing the red meat can go a long way in reducing PCOS. Now, what general measures have to be followed in terms of routine skincare? Always use a prescribed oil-free cleanser which has been suggested by your dermatologist. Use an oil-free moisturizer and an oil-free non-comedogenic sunscreen as what we call. Non-comedogenic products are the major step to reduce PCOS, and also non-comedogenic makeup is also available. And also do not pick your lesions, as these lesions are very aggressive. Picking them can further result in excessive scarring which would take a long time to manage. So rest is left in the hands of the dermatologist. Based on the grade of the hormonal abnormality, the dermatologist can suggest an oral contraceptive pill which can be decided based on the intensity of the PCOS and the extent of the disease. Apart from this, the most common drugs that are prescribed are also anti-androgens, including spironolactone, and also oral antibiotics that have to be given so as to reduce the inflammatory lesions, topical antibiotics, and also procedural interventions like lasers, chemical peels can be decided by your dermatologist. Apart from this, oral retinoids can also be given to reduce the acne. Lastly, I would conclude by saying that the acne of PCOS is a very vengeant acne, a stubborn acne, and an angry looking acne. Identifying this kind of acne and giving the treatment at the earliest is of utmost importance to prevent complications including scarring. And approaching the right person, that is your dermatologist, is also very important here. So PCOS acne to the dermatologist is like a race against time. So identifying them, managing them rightly, and also treating them can prevent further complications. I hope this talk has been of great informative value to you. If you have further any queries, you can visit the website or visit the clinic. Thank you.